One of the members asked me the other day what my current training schedule was like as I prep ready for the Manchester to Liverpool Ultra and then the bigger picture then leading on to Endure 24. And so I figured, well, might as well just share that with you whilst I'm actually going to get a training session in. So right now, Mondays are a double day and Tuesdays are a double day. And what that means is on a Monday, I will do a run. And then along with that run, I'll also do an upper body session. So I'll run in the morning, upper body session normally in the afternoon. With regards to the run, it's normally a relatively easy run for me. And that's because I've done the long run at the weekend. So it's just to get more time on the feet. And with regards to the upper body session, that's just to make sure that I keep as much muscle as I can, keep as much strength as what I possibly can, keep my body as robust as possible. Tuesday then is also a double session. And on a Tuesday, that is an interval session. And for the intervals, I use the treadmill. And that's just because it's easier then to be able to set a pace, have an understanding of what that pace is. And then I don't get distracted or have to keep stopping all the time due to traffic. I can just get on the treadmill, get the pace in and get the work done. And then in the afternoon, then I do a lower body session. And again, that's all about keeping myself strong, keeping the legs strong, keeping them robust, keeping as much muscle as possible. Wednesdays then are my rest day. So I'm quite an active guy anyway, owning the gym. I'm always kind of on the go. So it's still quite a lot of activity, but that is basically my rest day. And then also, on a Thursday, that is another interval session. And for that interval session, I tend to do shorter time periods, but faster intervals, and then just build those up. And the goal of the intervals really is working on some speed work, which then helps from an efficiency point of view as well. And then on a Friday, then I do a full body session. But what I do with a Friday is I make sure that I pick exercises that I really like and that I really enjoy doing. Because sometimes when you get to a Friday, as for everybody else, you're getting towards the end of the week, you've already done a decent amount of work from a training point of view and in my actual working life as well. And I'm a bit tired. So basically I pick exercise that I really enjoy. So that way then I really want to get in. I want to get those done, make sure I get them in. And then on a Saturday then is normally going for a walk. And that's just a bit more time on the legs, but a bit easier to be able to recover from. And then Sunday is my long run days. In this prep leading up to Manchester to Liverpool, that long run is going to be tapping out around about 5 hours, which if all goes to plan on the day will be around about half of what I plan to cover. But over the course of the week, that structure's in place there really to try and just get as much time on my legs as possible. Because when I did the Manchester Marathon last year and when I did my first ultra, from a cardiovascular point of view, I was absolutely fine. But the legs were on fire, absolutely killing me. And they just need more time to be able to build those up before we get to Manchester to Liverpool and Endure 24. And then something that I wanted to touch on with regards to the training schedule and stuff that I've got at the moment is sometimes people think about, because of how much time it is, you're talking 8 to 10 hours worth of training a week. It's a lot to be able to fit in, but I'm fortunate enough that I own a gym. It's my business. So therefore I can kind of work my training around it. And I often hear people talk about sacrifice. So people have to sacrifice to be able to fit their training sessions in and all of this stuff. And I just think sacrifice is the wrong word for it. Like, it's certainly not a word that I'll ever use. And the reason for that is sacrifice would be being on the front line somewhere and, potentially giving your life for your country, or, saving other people's life and having to sacrifice your family time for that. So yeah, frontline workers sacrifice. And that's about giving up stuff that they love to do the stuff that they need to do, or that is their job to do or their calling to do. Whereas I really enjoy fitness and I really enjoy training. So could you call it a sacrifice because I don't go out? Not really, because I don't really enjoy going out and stuff anymore. So it's more about priorities. Training to me and taking part in big events is just a big priority to me. Because one day I'm not going to be able to do it. And one day it's going to be taken away from me. And until that day, I want to be able to test and push myself to the absolute limits that I can get to really see what I'm capable of, both mentally and physically. So there's certainly no sacrificing involved. what I tend to do is on a Sunday, I plan my week out. So I know what my coaching hours are going to be, what I need to do from a business and gym perspective. And when I'm setting out my calendar, I'm also then making sure that I have those time slots in place, like they're a meeting, so they're important for my training, to make sure that I get that training done. And don't get me wrong, sometimes the time that I put into my calendar might not be the exact time that I train at, but I know that that time is blocked out and I don't need to do anything else during that time to make sure that I can get that in. So if you're trying to get fitter, trying to get stronger, and you're thinking about the things that you need to give up so that you can fit this in, try not to think of it as a sacrifice. Try and think of it more as you actually giving yourself more time and more energy and more freedom to be able to go and do the things that you want to do and test yourself to the limit that you want to test yourself to. So it's not really a sacrifice. It's all about priorities.